Hello and welcome. Today we will study about Battle of Limber Nullah. In this, the enemy's aim under Brigadier Khalil was to cross the Jhelum and encircle 161 Infantry Brigade at Mahura. For weeks, his forces concentrated in the Nala. Indian intelligence, through intercepts and agent reports, correctly assessed that an attack was imminent. Limber Nullah was the key axis threatening the Uri-Baramula road, the lifeline of the valley. The outcome would determine whether Indian forces could hold the western approaches to Srinagar. Now, a little bit of introduction that I have given to Limber Nullah. I will suggest that whenever you get a question, first set the context by giving what exactly happened during the battle. Let's now study the battle in detail. How did intelligence shape the battle? Intelligence played the decisive role. On 10th April, Khalil sent a careless, uncoded message to his superior, "Tomorrow night I shall change the map." That single lapse, intercepted by Indian wireless operators, revealed the enemy's HR. Our preparations were already in place. Tactical headquarters set up under cover of a fishing trap, picnic. Similarly, artillery registered silently and engineers had identified the Flying Fox ferry site. The contrast is stark. Enemy overconfidence versus Indian discipline in deception and security. This demonstrates the timeless truth. Information superiority, when exploited, can outweigh numerical strength. These phrases that I am covering, you can use these while answering other questions. In case you get a question on intelligence or surprise and deception, Battle of Limber Nullah is a good narration to prove your point. Let's talk about surprise and deception in detail. Surprise was engineered through meticulous deception. Our men staged fishing trips, truck breakdowns, and even picnics to conceal reconnaissance. Dummy guns replaced the mountain battery when it moved secretly to Mahura. Rumors in Srinagar and Baramula deliberated suggested that the main assault would come from Uri. At Nalwar Picket, the officer in charge staged a noisy demonstration to draw enemy attention away from Mahura. On the ground, Indian troops also exploited tribal habits, that is, vacating pickets at night. Thus, when 4 Kumaon climbed Kopra, they found positions empty and occupied them unopposed. The result, an enemy force deceived and demoralized even before the first full assault had begun. Combined arms in action. This was not just an infantry battle. Garhwal and Kumaon battalions executed daring night climbs. Artillery with silent registration was able to deliver surprise fire at the crucial moment, breaking up enemy reinforcements. Engineers constructed the Flying Fox ferry, which kept 3 Garhwal supplied across Jhelum. 7 cavalry's armored cars patrolled the Nowshera-Uri road, preventing infiltration. Dummy guns were used to conceal artillery movement. The essence was integration, deception, infantry, artillery, engineers, and armor working as one system. This is the classic principle of combined arms applied in mountain warfare. You may also be asked to bring out the operational significance of this victory. Operationally, the victory at Limber Nullah was transformative. It eliminated the enemy concentration at Mahura, which had threatened Uri and the Baramula road for months. It prevented the planned river crossing and encirclement. It freed 161 Brigade to conduct further operations. Most importantly, it secured the Uri Baramula road. Sniping and harassment, which had plagued this axis, ceased permanently. Here we see how a well timed tactical victory translated into operational freedom of action. Psychological and leadership factors. The battle underscores the primacy of morale and leadership. The tribal feared encirclement more than artillery fire. Once Kopra was lost, panic spread like wildfire. Khalil's bravado on the wireless dissolved into desperate calls for reinforcements. By contrast, Indian leadership remained composed. This psychological balance magnified firepower and produced victory at negligible cost. Leadership and morale proved more decisive than numbers. I had received a comment in the previous episode where an officer wanted to know what should he write once he is asked to comment on a situation. Now this could be one of the questions where you may be asked to comment. How should the battle be assessed in wider perspective? It was almost a mirror image of Shalatan, where strong enemy concentrations collapsed under surprise and morale shock. The principles of war were applied in full: surprise, offensive spirit, economy of force, firepower, and of course morale. Operationally, it removed the Mahura threat, secured Uri Baramula Road, and freed 161 Brigade for redeployment. Strategically, it bolstered confidence in the defense of Kashmir. The modern relevance lies in deception, information warfare, ISR denial, and psychological operations in any theater. When asked to comment, examiner expects you not just to narrate, but to assess significance, draw parallels, highlight principles, and link to today's context. As a closing remark, the Battle of Limber Nullah showed that decisive victories are not always about numbers or brute force. They are won through intelligence, deception, control of terrain, morale, and leadership. This battle proved that disciplined planning can transform a defensive situation into a decisive offensive success. The timeless lesson is clear. In mountains, battles are won as much in the realm of psychology and initiative as on the ground itself. With this, I come to the end of today's episode. Keep working hard. All the best. Jai Hind.